Oh. Hello, everybody. If you have not seen us on here before, that's because this is the very first Expert Burnout Tips show. I am your host, Kate Donovan, and with me today we have my friend Jim Young. I asked him to send me a bio, and this is what he wrote. Men have been socialized to believe in a set of cultural norms that says they have to go it alone and never show weakness on their way to success. I'm here to call bullshit on that because what it actually leads to is isolation and burnout. Jim Young, welcome to Expert Burnout Tips, and thank you for being my first guest.
Kate Donovan, I am always so happy to be with you, and to help break the ice is an honor. Thanks for having me.
So, this show is a very short format, so we jump directly in. I have asked every burnout expert that is coming on the show to prepare their number one top tip. What's yours?
Intimacy.
Ah!
And I know that is not the expected answer for anybody who's dealing with burnout. And it's the solution for me that I found over years of dragging my way out of burnout. It's only when I started to invest in intimate relationships in every area of my life that I started to dig my way out of burnout and actually get to this place where my life flows. I love what I'm doing. I've got so much ease, so much abundance.
How how? That's not a good question, I know that.
Yeah. How's
But
a good question?
but I think that if I was listening right now and I was not and I didn't already read your book and I didn't already know you,
Yeah.
I would be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. Well, so to rewind that a little bit, like a little more context, for me, anyways, and I think it's true for a lot of people, the experience of burnout, one of the crushing parts of it is the isolation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm alone in this problem. And for me, there was a ton of shame involved in
Mhm.
that I couldn't live up to the ideals that I was supposed to. I couldn't cut it. And so I felt like I couldn't tell anybody about that. And I was holding all this stuff inside. It felt really bad. It was literally toxic for me. And so when I started to share that, first it was professional, like I had to go to counseling and talk with a therapist and work that out, but that's not actually intimacy because it's a one-way conversation.
Yeah.
When I then started to bring it out to other people in my life, my friends, colleagues, family members, that I started to get the validation of like, oh yeah, I totally see you there. I experienced that too. And then they wanted to be resources for me, and I wanted to be resources for them. And now we've got this generative energy going on where when my stress comes up, I have intimate places to take it. And I know it's a strange word to use sometimes.
But I think it's good to reclaim that word and use it in this way because I think the advent of phones, even before cell phones, even regular phones, we didn't call on each other as much at home. We
Yeah.
didn't show up to people's houses for lunch. We don't make time to be with each other in person. And especially now, after the pandemic, we really are not making that time. So it's much harder, I think. And you can correct me if you think this is wrong. I think it's much harder in today's day and age to have that connection and feel like it's real because we're not often sharing enough physical space with other people.
Hmm. Yes. And I've had a ton of my intimacy show up in rooms like this. In
Yeah.
fact, 2 years ago, like early pandemic, I co-created a monthly men's group. And guys, if you're not in a men's group, find one, create one, build one. Let me know. I'll help you find one. We meet once a month for 90 minutes on Zoom, and it's people in Calgary and Austin, Texas, and San Francisco. Like, I've only ever met one of these 7 guys once.
Wow.
And I have so much intimacy with these guys. We talk about everything. We talk about our financial worries. We talk about things that we're excited about doing for work. We talk about our romantic lives. We talk about family stuff. It's such an amazing clearinghouse. It's a great place for me to get, process through things and not have it build up.
So is the first step just talking to people?
Yeah, first step is well, I think the first step is getting real with like what is truly going on that is not sustainable for me. What's the stuff I'm holding in that
Yeah.
I just don't want to have inside me? And then it's taking the risk to say, I'm ready to say that to somebody else out loud. And no, I just want anybody who's listening to this who is kind of in that stuck spot to just trust that when you share it, you're going to get good stuff. You're not going to get punished. Um,
What happens if you do? Because every once in a while, there
sure.
is going to be a response that does not get you what you need.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good point. Like, I shouldn't make a declarative statement like that, because there are some people who are going to be in a bad spot. They're not going to be able to listen to you. They might get triggered by what you're sharing because it touches something in them, and they don't respond well to you. That's their stuff. I want you to know that that's not about you. Test the waters a little bit. Don't go straight to the heart of the issue. I think I made that mistake. I know I made
Mm.
that mistake when I was first learning to be vulnerable with what was going on. Is I would overshare to people that didn't need, and somebody, I can't remember who said it, like, they hadn't earned the right to hear my story yet.
Oh, Brené Brown says that, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
So look for the people who you have a deep trust in, like, I can count on this person. It's a safe relationship for me to just say whatever.
Yeah,
And when you find those places, take the risk, you get a reward. People will see you.
I love that. So, first things first, if people are interested, they can snag your book.
Yes.
There's the link right here underneath us. Everybody
Mhm.
can see that. You can get Jim's book. It's called Expansive Intimacy, and it is a full-on guide on how to do this well and safely, etc. The Amazon link is here. Should you need it, I'm sure you can find it. If you just type in Expansive Intimacy with Jim Young into Amazon, it pops right up. That's not a problem. But what Jim also did is on this book page, he created, for the purpose of this little chat
Mhm.
today, he created a worksheet for you to help you get this started. And that worksheet, you'll just have to go to this website and then look for the Take the Expansive Intimacy Inventory button, click on it, it will download for you, and you will have access to it. So, Jim's top tip today is intimacy, is vulnerability, is making connections with people and understanding that there are people that understand or at least are willing to understand. There are people that want to support you, and you are definitely, most definitely not alone.
Mm.
Jim
Yeah.
Young, thank you, thank you, thank you
Thank
for
you, Kate,
being my
for
number
everything you
one
do.
today.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for everything that you're doing to support this cause and this community.
And if you're experiencing burnout out there, the goal of this show is to give you one thing to try at a time, for you to know that there's always another way to get through, for you to never drop hope, because we can push it further. There's always something more that we can try. If you haven't tried this yet, give it a whirl and then let us know how it goes. Salt says, "Hi, Jim. I really like the concept of intimacy to prevent burnout. I bought your book and I'm looking forward to read it." All right. I
Thank
love
you, thank you. I
that.
hope you
I
get,
love that.
get some good resources.
And that's coming to us all the way from Hungary.
Fantastic.
So fun.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. That wraps up episode number 1 of Expert Burnout Tips with your host, Kate Donovan, and my guest, other way, Jim Young. Until next
Thanks, Kate.
time.